Story 1. The first story was sent in by a man named Daniel. A few years ago, Daniel and his wife moved into a quiet neighborhood in Ohio. It was the kind of place where nothing ever seemed to happen. Clean sidewalks, identical houses, neighbors who waved but never really talked. After a string of car break-ins in a nearby area, Daniel decided to install security cameras around the outside of his home. One over the garage, one at the front door, and one in the backyard, facing the sliding glass door. At first, the cameras were boring. Delivery drivers, stray cats, the occasional raccoon knocking over trash cans. Then one night at around 2:13 a.m., Daniel's phone buzzed. Motion detected. Backyard. He assumed it was another animal. Half asleep, he opened the app. The backyard light was off, but the camera had night vision. The image was grainy and gray. At first, he didn't see anything. Then he noticed someone standing near the fence. Just standing there. The person wasn't moving. They were facing the house. Daniel felt a chill run through him. He zoomed in. The figure appeared to be a man. Tall, wearing a hoodie. The hood was up, hiding his face. Daniel's first thought was that someone had jumped the fence. But the strange thing was, the man wasn't trying to break in. He wasn't testing doors. He wasn't looking around nervously. He was just standing there, completely still, watching the house. Daniel woke his wife and whispered, "There's someone in the backyard." She thought he was joking until she saw the screen. They called the police. While waiting, Daniel kept his eyes glued to the live feed. The man didn't move for almost 5 minutes. Then, slowly, he stepped forward. One step, then another. He stopped right in front of the sliding glass door. Daniel realized with horror that the lights inside were off. From outside, it would look like everyone was asleep. The figure leaned forward slightly, as if trying to see inside. Daniel's heart was pounding so loud he could barely hear himself think. Then, in one sudden motion, the man turned his head directly toward the camera. It was like he knew exactly where it was. Even with the hood and night vision distortion, Daniel could tell the man was staring straight into the lens. Then the feed cut out. The screen went black. No signal. Daniel refreshed the app over and over. Nothing. 2 minutes later, police arrived and searched the yard. No one was there. No footprints. No signs of forced entry. The officers checked the fence. It was too high to climb easily. No damage. The next morning, Daniel reviewed the footage. The video showed the man standing there, walking to the door, turning toward the camera. And then, right before the signal cut, the man slowly raised his hand and pointed directly at the camera. After that night, Daniel replaced the camera. But every few weeks, around the same time, 2:13 a.m., the backyard camera loses signal for exactly 3 minutes, even when there's no one there.
The second story comes from a woman named Priya. Priya lived alone in a small apartment building in Chicago. After a break-in happened on the first floor, the landlord installed security cameras in the hallways. There was one directly outside her apartment door. At first, she felt safer knowing the hallway was being monitored. One night, around 11:40 p.m., she heard a soft knock on her door. She wasn't expecting anyone. She froze. The knock came again. Slow, gentle, almost polite. She checked her phone and opened the camera app connected to the hallway. The hallway was empty. Her door was closed. The lights flickered slightly, but there was no one there. Her stomach dropped.
I see you out there,
Another knock,
watching me.
this time louder.
You think you're safe
She
in the
stared at
dark,
the
but
live
all
feed.
eyes watching.
Still empty. Who's
Nowhere to
there?
run.
She called out,
I'm
her
coming for
voice
you.
shaking. No answer. The knocking
I
stopped.
see you out there,
She didn't
watching
sleep
me.
that night.
You
The
think
next
you're safe
morning,
in the dark,
she
but all
reviewed the
eyes
recorded
watching.
footage from the hallway
Nowhere to
camera.
run.
At
I'm
11:39
coming for you.
p.m., the hallway was empty. At 11:40, something changed. The camera didn't show a person, but it showed her door handle, slowly turning, just slightly, as if someone on the outside was gently testing it. Then it stopped. At 11:41 p.m., the knocking sound was captured on the building's audio system. 3 soft knocks, but the camera still showed no one. Priya reported it to the landlord. He assumed it was a glitch. 2 nights later, it happened again. Knock, knock, knock. She opened the app instantly this time. Empty hallway. But then she noticed something new. the shadow on the floor, right at the bottom of her door. A shadow that didn't match anything in the hallway. It looked like the outline of
Oh my
feet,
god, what is that?
standing directly in front of her door.
It's getting closer.
She watched in horror as the
No,
shadow
please,
shifted
no.
slightly, as if someone was adjusting their weight. But the camera showed nothing there.
Oh my
The
god,
next
what
day,
is that?
the landlord called her. His
It's getting
voice sounded
closer.
different. He said,
No, please,
"You
no.
should probably stay somewhere else
right
for a
to
few
the-
days." She asked why. He hesitated. Then he told her that while reviewing the footage frame by frame, they found something. For less than half a second between frames, there was a clear image of a man standing at her door. His face was extremely pale. His eyes looked wrong, too dark, and he was smiling. The image never appeared again in the footage. Priya moved out that week. Months later, she heard that the next tenant complained about knocking at night, and the hallway camera still shows nothing.
Story 3. The final story was sent in anonymously. The sender worked as a night security guard at a small storage facility in Arizona. The job was simple. Sit in the office. Watch the monitors. Do rounds every 2 hours. There were over 20 cameras covering the property. One night around 3 a.m., he noticed something strange on camera 14. Camera 14 covered the far corner of the lot, near a row of outdoor storage units. At first, it looked like a trick of the light. Then he leaned closer. There was a door slightly open. Unit 47. He checked the records. Unit 47 belonged to
You
an
think you
elderly
can
man
hide
who
from
hadn't
me?
visited in weeks.
I see
No
everything.
one was
You can't
supposed to be
escape.
there at that hour.
But I'm coming
He grabbed
for
his
you. This is
flashlight
just
and
the
went to check
beginning.
it out. As he walked
You
across
will
the gravel
pay!
lot, the
You
air
think you
felt
can hide from
unusually
me?
still. No wind,
I see everything.
no
You can't
distant
escape.
traffic sounds.
But
He
I'm coming
reached
for you.
Unit
This is just
47.
the beginning.
The door was closed.
You will pay!
He stared at it. He was sure it had been open on the monitor. He walked back to the office. Camera 14 now showed the door open again. He felt a wave of unease. This time, he zoomed in. Inside the unit, it was dark, but the night vision camera picked up shapes, boxes, furniture, and something else. A figure, standing at the very back of the unit, perfectly still. He felt his mouth go dry. He rewound the footage from earlier that night. At 2:47 a.m., the unit was closed. At 2:48, the door was open, and the figure was already inside. It hadn't walked in. It was just suddenly there. He stared at the screen. The figure was tall and thin, its head tilted slightly to one side. Then, slowly, it began to move forward, not walking, sliding, closer to the entrance of the unit. He grabbed his keys and ran back outside. When he reached Unit 47 again, the door was shut tight. He unlocked it this time. The metal door rattled as he pulled it up. The inside was empty. Just dusty boxes and old furniture. No footprints. No sign that anyone had been there. His radio suddenly crackled, but no voice came through. Just static. He slowly turned around. Across the lot, about 50 feet away, he saw someone standing under a broken streetlight. A tall, thin silhouette, head tilted to one side, exactly like the figure from camera 14. He blinked. The light flickered, and the figure was gone. He sprinted back to the office and locked the door. When he checked camera 14 again, the storage unit was closed. But now, the figure was standing directly in front of the camera, so close that its face filled the screen. The image distorted with static, but he could make out one detail clearly. It was smiling. The footage corrupted seconds later and never recovered. He quit the job the next morning. The storage facility still operates today, and according to him, camera 14 still glitches every night at exactly 2:48 a.m. Which story scared you the most? Comment below and subscribe for more true horror stories.